guys, I'm going to do a quick little segment here. Yesterday, I had a comment in one of the posts that I put up about my last fight. Someone had watched it, and it's on YouTube there. I think it's on my channel. There's a Potter Brand podcast channel. And one of the questions is, what happened to my leg? At one point, you could tell there was something going on with my back leg. So it's at Yup883, I believe, is the one who commented. Bloodsport33. I believe that's what it is. I will put it in the description and make sure it's right. So you could follow him. He's one of the subscribers on the Zapata Brand podcast. And I was trying to explain to you what happened. It's easier for me to do it visually, what happened. So if you look at the fight, the first 43 seconds of that first round, I knew going in that Sean was very strong. He punched very hard. I knew that. But what I also knew is that he couldn't catch me. I knew he wasn't going to be able to catch me. I was too fast. If you've seen the first couple seconds, he can't hit me. And then up to about a minute in, I think it was actually a minute 43 yet, was when the tear happened. So if you could see for a minute 40, he can't really catch me. I was backing up, and countering him as he threw his left hand, knowing that he was going to be open. I knew that. So right around a minute 43, if you look at the fight, you can see things were going very well for me. And I anticipated to pick up the pace at that point. What happened as I stepped back, you could actually see my right leg buckle in, which was the tear of the MCL. And then I tore my quad. Now, I took a step back and I couldn't, you could see me picking up my leg here and there. And I'm like, ooh, this isn't good. When I did that, you can see clearly there was something wrong. What happened was as I stepped back, it couldn't brace. My knee was just too weak. Couldn't brace my quad, which tore both. Now, it wasn't a complete rupture. It was a tear. So I was lucky there. If it ruptured, I would have fell to the ground. I wouldn't have been able to get up. So I kind of maneuvered my way to the corner, if you see in the fight, and I'm going to put some clips on this video. I kind of maneuvered my way to the corner to kind of say, okay, I can stay here. But I kind of faked it as if I was doing all right. I kind of moved around, which is what you're supposed to do. Act as if it doesn't bother you. I didn't smile because I would have thought that maybe he thought he hurt me. But he didn't hit me at that point. So as I'm walking around going left, going right, I'm like, there's something seriously wrong when I go to the right. So as I get back to the corner, my brother puts the stool in. He immediately knew something was wrong. I said, I can't bend my knee. If you notice here in the video, which I'm going to try to put up, I couldn't sit down. I couldn't. There was too much pain. I said, there's no way I could do this. And at that point is when I said, okay, I got to make a decision. But luckily, Coach D, who was in my corner, had said, if you cannot push off your back foot and have no weight on your back foot, go to the rope, which is totally against anything that we've ever done. It's counterproductive because you're going against a rope. You're trapped. But Coach knew and I knew that he couldn't hit me. I was too quick. So either way, I would lean back or lean under. Either way, I could get out of the way of the punches. So it wasn't that counterintuitive as you might think. So when that happened, if you look at the fight, and we're going to look now, if I could get this video up here, I'm going to try to. You could see I was mentally thinking, get me back to the rope so I could spring off the rope and punch because I had no back leg. I couldn't. The one time I attempted to go after him when I believe I had him hurt, my leg gave out, and you could see it very clearly in the video. It wasn't good. It was not good. When that was going on, I thought, okay, if I could just outbox him, I'd be fine. But he never came forward. I always was able to counter him as he came forward. He never stayed there. He was always moving side to side, and then it would come a little forward, and I'd counter him off the rope. I wanted to bounce off those ropes to hit him, so it'd be double the impact, but it just didn't work. I felt I did enough to win the fight. I felt if it would have went the way it should have gone, the first minute 40, minute 50, that would have been the same way the entire fight. I was in unbelievable shape at that time. So I don't think that would have bothered me. I think I would have gone the distance, and it wouldn't have been bad. I mean, he caught me one time in the first round, which I knew he punched very hard, but I was able to take that. And once I was able to take it, I said, okay, I'll be all right. Then, obviously, the injury happens. The next day, Well, that night I had gone out and I don't drink, and I did have a drink of alcohol, which actually was actually very good because it thinned my blood a little bit. What was happening is the water, I was getting a hematoma in my thigh, which is where my quad was. But having the alcohol kind of thinned my blood, which was good. Next morning I wake up, I can't move my leg. It is bruised from below my kneecap up to the mid thigh, and I can't bend it at all. Something was seriously going on. I didn't know at that time it was torn. I still came to work. I still decided, well, I'm going to bake. It'll be fine. I was on my leg the whole time. It was now hurting my back because I was really favoring the one side walking. I go to the hospital because I just couldn't bend. Something was seriously wrong. Go to the hospital. They initially thought I had compartment syndrome, which is an extremely dangerous thing to have because it was very warm and kind of getting solid. But that was just the fluid building up, I believe. They give me a couple painkillers to put it in. They go in. We get an MRI. Hence, torn quad, torn MCL. The weird thing is I only tore my MCL. I did not tear my ACL, which usually sometimes it was one of those weird tears where you pull one, you could tear one, but you don't tear the other one. And some people get a torn ACL and they can actually walk, which is what happened to me. I could walk the MCL. Now, my knee would buckle inside, but it would catch on the other side. So I'm okay. I was having stability. If it was the ACL, it would be the outside of your knee. I would fall, and that would be the end of that. But I didn't. It was actually good. I felt good. But to answer your question, at Yup 883, I believe that's what it is. And excuse me if it's not, that you do deserve the respect to have that down. I just didn't get a chance to look at it. It was because I tore my quad and my MCL. Obviously, if we fight again, which I do believe will happen again, I'm not sure. I know Sean's still fighting. Just was in the Nationals not long ago. He's got probably over 40 fights right now under his belt. So he's still active. It is a fight I would like to have. Have that fight sometime in May. I don't know if it's possible. We will see how my injury goes. It was a freak injury. It was a step back. I'm going to put it on this video. Maybe we can see it. The step back was not something that I've not done a million times in my career. I did it. I tore my quad, tore my MCL. Hence, wasn't my best performance. I do still think I did enough to win. I thank my corner for telling me, hey, calm down, just get to the ropes. And when that happened, I actually think it was Abel and Coach D talking to Leo, telling him we got to figure something out. And they kind of came up with the plan. Hey, you got to go to the ropes. You have to be able to push off that rope, because that was the only way I would be able to keep him off me. I mean, I couldn't use my jab because my back leg was not good. Didn't have any stability at all. So, God willing, I got through the fight. I won the fight, and that obviously sets up a rematch at some point. So, that is what happened in the fight. My apologies for not putting on the best performance. But if I do it again, which it looks like I will, I can guarantee it'll be better. And remember, like I always say, don't be envious of what I've accomplished in my life. Be inspired by what you can do in yours. Thank you.